Thanks for joining us this morning. Our vaccine rollout is in shambles. The Prime Minister abandoning any hopes of vaccinating all Australians by the end of the year.
Big news. This as legal concerns over the AstraZeneca jab grow, with GPs worried they could be liable if patients suffer serious or fatal side effects. More, we're joined by Chair of the Coalition for Economic Preparedness, Jane Halton. Good morning to you, Jane. Nice to see you on this Monday morning. I mean, it is such a mess at the start of this working week.
Well, I think the trick now is for people just to calm down a little bit and get back to basics. We need to vaccinate the nation. We need to have the vaccines to do that. We're going to get Pfizer at the end of this year, and there'll be 40 million doses in total of Pfizer. And of course, the AstraZeneca jab, let's be honest, you're over 50, go line up. And actually, if you've got a whole bunch of other conditions and you're under 50 and you have considered the risks, which are really, really tiny, you can still have that jab if you'd like to.
But Jane, you're here talking about Pfizer at the end of the year. We've got other countries around the world which have already vaccinated half their population. We're falling so far behind. If we want to open up and join the rest of the world, that schedule, the end of the year, it's not good enough.
Well, we will get some Pfizer between now and the end of the year, so let's be clear. Remember, we had the 20 million dose order, which is 10 million people for delivery, and it is being delivered now, and it's going into people's arms now. It's the extra 20 we'll get later in the year. And of course, you're right, we need to use the vaccine we've got available to us. And one of the things I'm going to be watching for, guys, is that every dose that rolls off the production line in Melbourne, it goes into people's arms. And we know that we need 2 doses, so it'll take us the 12 weeks. We can use all of those doses, as far as I'm concerned, put those in people's arms, and then turn around and give them their second dose. And in that time, then we will create the space to do the greater numbers with the Pfizer vaccine. So I know people don't want to put targets on things. I understand that because the world is very uncertain. But let's be honest, we can still get a lot of people vaccinated, and that will actually do exactly as you say, let us open up.
The problem is that even within government, they don't know what the timeline is. They have no idea. They're basically going up against each other and each other's opinions. There doesn't seem to be any clarity at the highest levels.
Yes, well, I understand why people are reticent now to put a timeline on this. I think one of the things we can do is look at what CSL are telling us about what they can produce. The Health Minister over the weekend came out and told us that he was expecting batches of vaccine. So what I'd encourage people to do is to look at those numbers, because I think it'll give us a fair idea of how it is we can roll this out. And as we always knew, in that group 1B, it was going to take us about 12 weeks to vaccinate that group. That's still going to be the case. So let's just now knuckle down and deliver the vaccines we've got. I'm going to be lining up for my AstraZeneca jab, I promise you. And let's get those vaccines delivered. And one of the things I'm really worried about is that people don't go, oh, well, maybe we just don't need to be vaccinated. Look at what's going on still overseas. That could still happen if we don't get our population vaccinated. So that's the thing I'm focusing on right now.
You've got a lot of people right now, though, Jane, who are reticent to get the vaccination because of all the issues we've seen both here in Australia and OS.
Yes, I know that. And again, it's all about risk, isn't it? We actually take medicines every day that have a slight risk associated with them. And because we know that there are slight risks, we always weigh up the cost, the benefits, all of those sorts of things. And again, I'd remind people, the kind of issue that we're seeing with this vaccine is 4 in a million. And if you look at what actually happens with COVID, the number of people who die with COVID, it far outweighs that. So again, talk to your doctor. If you're worried about this, go and see your GP and have a chat with them. They know what your health issues are. They understand how to weigh off those risks, and they can talk to you about that.
OK, Jane, just before we go, I do have to ask this question. GPs are concerned they'll be liable if something happens, if someone has the AstraZeneca vaccine. Are they protected under professional indemnity insurance, or can you say anything to reassure them?
Yes, they are protected. All the health professionals working in this space are protected, and I think both the Minister but also even the head of the AMA has come out over the weekend to give that reassurance to health professionals. These sorts of arrangements, and in fact one of the things I do globally, we've even built an arrangement of this kind to operate in all low to middle income countries, so using these vaccines as well. No need to worry, get on and deliver those vaccines.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Jane. We appreciate it.